So basically, I have this disease called gastroparesis. And gastroparesis, long story short, if you think of your stomach as a turning wheel, mine just stops. It's caused by a virus. It made its way to my intestine and kind of decided to make its home there. So that being said, I get these little flare-ups is what we've decided to call them, where I lose a bunch of weight and then I have to gain it all back, and then I'll get another flare-up and I'll lose it all again, and it's just this constant cycle that I'm in. But there was this one period of time about 6-7 months ago where I was very, very skinny. And that had been going on for about 2 years at that point. I was ranging between 103 and 108 pounds, which for being a woman and 5'8" and 21, that is getting borderline severe malnutrition. So it was very hard for me to keep on weight. It was very hard, just self-confidence wise and in general, if I'm being totally honest. But the weird thing is that people kept on coming up to me and asking if I was a model, if what I did to be so skinny and how beautiful I was, and basically just a lot of good, uplifting compliments and comments about it. But people had no idea that inside I was actually struggling a lot.
So whenever I first met Hope, she was kind of like bone skinny. No offense.
It's okay.
She was just very, very tiny, and she would get compliments on that a lot. People, for some reason, would always make comments on her body, which I thought was a little abnormal at times, because that's just not, a normal thing to talk about whenever you just meet a person. But people would make that kind of the first thing they say to her whenever they would see her is be like, wow, you're so skinny. What do you do? Do you work out? What's your diet like?
Before all that happened, I was 145 pounds of just muscle and loved working out. But I had lost all my weight from gastroparesis. At that point in time, I was actually in kind of a toxic relationship and didn't realize that I wasn't eating right. I was eating about one meal a day and it didn't even really come across my mind how much weight I had lost, and until the compliments really started, and then it made me really start thinking, what is going on?
Yeah, and then I got closer to Hope and I realized maybe she was actually struggling a little bit with eating in general, and she didn't really know it at the time. And I never really wanted to bring it up in the first place, because that's just something you just don't talk about, at times whenever someone's struggling with it. But
so a little while passes and I meet this guy, Grant. Now, Grant is kind of like a gym junkie. Him and his best friend go all the time, and I ended up dating him.
So then Hope got a boyfriend, and Grant is always working out, and he's built and everything, so he prides himself in taking care of him, taking care of his body and whatnot. And so Hope started doing that with him as well, and I could see a huge difference. And she started getting into yoga. She got a membership at this one place and she became obsessed with it. She started doing it every single day. Even though she was working, she would still go do yoga.
It's a place for me to truly be myself, know that nobody is watching or judging me, and it's a place where I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to think about anybody else. I don't even really have to think about myself. It's so difficult that you can only think about the poses that you're doing.
Give you something to look forward to in the day, which is how I see the gym, and it just kind of keeps you on a schedule throughout the day.
I don't even know if I told you guys that I do hot yoga. So not only is it yoga, which is already difficult, it's hot yoga. So it's 104 degrees in the room. And you just progressively literally have to tell yourself, or at least I do, this is the only way that I can stay in the room, is if I say you are safe, you are strong, and you are in control. Because otherwise, you just want to book it out of the room because it is so hot, but you know that you're detoxing yourself and you're doing something good inherently for your body. But oh my gosh.
I started noticing a difference, you know, with her body and also her mentality. She started becoming just a happier person in general. And
I knew that it wasn't really gonna help you like gain any weight or anything, but I knew that it was gonna like put you in the mindset of wanting to work out more.
Was about 108 and I weighed myself the other day and I'm 138. So within the last 6 months, I've put on a good 30 pounds, making sure that I'm going to yoga 3 to 4 times a week and lifting weights 3 to 4 times a week. And it's an exciting experience to feel confident again, to feel like a woman again, to feel that I can do almost anything that I set my mind to, and that I can keep on this weight, and that my gastroparesis doesn't have to define my body and who I am. And I'm no longer receiving these "are you a model" compliments. It's, wow, you're a healthy individual, you look healthy.